We'll call our city council meeting to order. I got here late and left my in the office, so we're spared. This is our regular city council meeting. We're meeting tonight and outside of the council chambers. There were meetings in there all day that have just recently barely concluded, but then it's not ready for us to go in there. So we are meeting here for our regular session. And there's a quorum present. All are here, all council members. And our opening ceremony will be led by Steve Pinson.
Yes, if you just read the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We always traditionally recognize groups, special groups that come here to our council meeting, and tonight is no exception. I believe it's a scout troop that is visiting with us. If you would have one of your young men come up and tell us what troop you are, your schools you attend, and why you're visiting us, a merit badge or whatever. And be sure to tell us who you are.
We're from 566. I'm Zarin, and the two dogs sitting down are Cody and Paul. Cody and Paul go to Carl Sandburg, and I go to Neil Armstrong Academy. The very back we're trying to get this citizenship.
Well, welcome to City Council. Thank you for being here. We will mention to you that our meeting will probably seem short. We have met for in a previous study meeting, and we also did last week, so the items on our agenda are items that we have already reviewed and discussed and gotten as much background and information as we need, and then tonight we will address those for the final time. So we move on. We have minutes to the council then.
Mayor, I move for approval of the January 14, 2014 regular meeting minutes.
We have a motion before us.
Second.
We have a second. We have a motion and a seconded for approving the minutes of January 14th. Any discussion? Seeing none, place it for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion passes unanimously. We now go to the public comment period of our discussion. And this is for those who are here to speak not on items that are on our agenda. Well, let's see. We don't have any public ones, so we don't have to worry about that. But we do have someone who has signed up to speak, Leonard Wolfram. And so you have 5 minutes, and you can address a topic of your choice.
Well, this is just an education for me as much as far as for the boys. But and I'm not even sure this is the forum to address this, but I live near 56 West, and I have to drive. I work as a correctional officer. And there are times when I come across 36 West, and this is near the start of Granger High, and I've come up where that intersection gets jammed. I mean, people are going south direction, coming from the east, and people coming from the north. At the turn of the yellow light, they're not looking ahead. It gets jammed. So again, I don't know if this is the form to bring this up, but I don't know if it might be helpful to put a sign, but at least start to put a sign up there to not block the intersection. I do know in other places in the country where that's a pretty heavy fine to clog up an intersection like that. So again, you might have to correct me, direct me as to where I should go to address this question, but that's my comment or concern.
Okay. No one else signed up, so thank you very much for the comment. Yes, it was very appropriate to do it here. So, yes, tell your neighbors and friends you can do things like that. Back to the council. Any comments? I'll see city manager then.
Yes, thank you, sir. So on occasion, I'll be able to respond or give some information that might be appropriate to some of the commentaries made before. And if I understood you right, sir, you said 5600 West and 31st South or Broad? No?
It's 36 West and
35th South at Granger High. Okay, all right. Both intersections have actually issues, so I wasn't sure exactly which one we're talking about. Due to the construction of the new high school and the continuing construction on the south side there, they're not quite finished yet with all of the parking that they're going to have available. This has led, at least partially, to some of the issues that we've had over there in terms of the light there at Lancer Way, the entrances to Granger High, and the intersection of 35th and 36th that you're talking about there. So we are aware of that. We're working with the school officials and with our own public works department to try to get to the best solutions we can over there. You're right, it is a problem. We are aware of it, we're working on it.
Mr. Powell, is it not correct that actually there's already a state law that prohibits blocking an intersection?
Yes, sir. That is a state law.
Technically, people can be ticketed for that. I don't know what the fine is, but in Utah, it is against the law to enter an intersection without the possibility of getting through. And that's true, I think, throughout Utah. So that's not saying people follow the law. It's just that is. Now to the council. Or I guess that was the council. Any further comments? Okay. Now we'll proceed to item number 7 on our agenda. A resolution for a lease purchase agreement. And we had some discussion on this last time. Is there any additional information? Why don't you clarify, if you would, for this storage area network and then also the backup solution?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Just 2 minutes.
You bet, absolutely. So from time to time, we have to make hardware purchases for the overall system in the city. This is one of those. And this is for the purpose of data storage and backup. We simply have grown our computer needs that we have right now from that storage standpoint. This is proposed to be purchased under our HP master lease agreement that we've used in the past.
And the only thing I would add is that this does not require any additional appropriation of funds. It's being done within the current budget. Sorry, I think someone planned for it.
Yes, sir.
So this is not like a new budget. Any discussion today? To the council then, for Councilman Weston.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would move that we approve resolution 1417 to authorize the city to execute a HP lease purchase agreement.
We have a motion before us. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. The motion is properly before us. Any discussion to the motion? Seeing no further discussion, this was actually a fairly straightforward one for you young men here to watch. That's why there's not a lot of discussion, is that we've already had an in-depth presentation. Yes, in-depth. Last week. So, then we'll go back. Any last words? We'll place the motion for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. We'll now go to item number 7B, Resolution 14-18, the interlocal cooperation agreement with Salt Lake County. Mr. Cloud, this I looked at the agreement and I decided I would not read it. It had to be, what, 80?
It's quite a bulk, yes.
And I think this is a standard agreement that we have done before, so this is not new agreement. If you would take a minute or two to just summarize that.
Absolutely, thank you, sir. So this would be an agreement with Salt Lake County Surveyor's Office, and as the mayor has mentioned, we sign these sorts of agreements in your local cooperative way with the county and other entities all the time. This particular one is for this, I don't know how to pronounce it, LIDAR, LIDAR, 3D and spatial imaging software, which will be used for doing work across the county, and it provides GIS or geographic information system data that we can use for planning or building or whatever other purposes we need from that standpoint. The total contract price is about $7,800 when the machine is turned on here. $7,859.
And which is within the system.
Yes, sir.
To the council, any discussion or questions or action?
Mr. Mayor, I'll move for approval of resolution 14-18.
Second.
We have a motion before us and a second discussion to that. Seeing none, then we'll place it for a vote. All in favor of approving the interlocal cooperation agreement 14-18, resolution 14-18, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. Is there any other business that ought to come before us all? Let me just-
He's the one. Oh, there he is.
Okay. We do have a need for an executive session. This is a quarterly risk update. We did not do it in the study meeting, of course, because other events were occurring and tied that up. What we will do, I think, to keep this clear and clean, is that we will adjourn our regular council meeting. Is that correct?
After you make a motion to go into executive session.
Oh, it's after
Then make a
the
motion
executive
first.
session. Okay, so now that I have that, and you already all know this, but Councilman Bueller.
Thank you, Mayor. Since we'll be going into executive session, I'd also like to move for an executive session for the discussion of deployment of security measures.
Yes. And for
Well,
the risk update.
well, but
So
that's something that nobody else has heard yet, but then I also put a risk management update, which is discussion of litigation. So for those two purposes.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. Just before we adjourn, that concludes our regular session. The session that we're going to hold is closed to the public because of litigation, that sort of thing. So, as you heard those comments. So, thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate you visiting with us. And with that, one more motion.
Motion to adjourn the regular council meeting.
Motion is we adjourn our regular council meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. We are now adjourned. And again, thank you all for coming.